The new Mercedes X-Class is one of the latest recruits to the busy pickup market, and it aims to offer that all-important premium feel, but with that crucial off-road ability.
But if you've got over £40,000 to spend and you really want to show off your 4x4 credentials, then nothing screams off-roader more than this, the Isuzu D-Max AT35. Now both these cars are more than capable in the rough stuff, but let's start by seeing how they cope on the road.
So here we are in the Isuzu D-Max
AT35
Arctic trucks.
Yeah.
And I think the first point to make about this is that it is very much a off-road orientated car, as in there are no things about this truck that are geared for being on-road.
No.
You've got huge tyres, raised suspension, huge wheel arches. It's not designed to be as comfortable as possible on the road.
It's very showy.
It is quite showy, yeah.
And I quite like it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people quite like how showy it is.
Yeah.
But what that does mean is that when you are driving it on the road, it's not all that comfortable.
It's slightly compromised.
I think compromise is a good word. It's a nice
very
word.
diplomatic
to use.
word to use.
Yeah. But then again, it is, it's got that huge sense of size to it that people like about pickup trucks.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to spend £40,000 on a pickup truck, you are clearly not just going to use it for work. It's going to.
But then the good thing with the D-Max is that it can back it up with being just really solid off-road.
Yeah, well, it seems to have all the toys. It's got the locking diff, it's got the hill descent control.
Yeah, it's got shift lock as well.
Shift lock as well, so yeah.
So it's got all the bits you want.
I'd say I do love those strip lights.
Yeah, the lights are pretty. I mean, any car or truck with a set of huge spot lamps on it is going to be cool. Yeah. And this looks even better with them on. So which engine is this? Is this it's a 2.
It's a 1.9.
Is it 1.9?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's the only engine that's available in the
Because that's the whole D-Max range, isn't it?
Yeah.
1.9.
Yeah, it replaced the 2.5 litre about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Essentially, the power is exactly the same, but it's just a lot more efficient now.
That's it, yeah.
I think it's about 160 odd brake horsepower. Okay. As you say, it's very capable not only off-road, but it'll tow 3.5 tonnes.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it'll carry a tonne in the back as well.
Wow. Yeah.
So, as a workhorse, you can throw anything at it.
Yeah. Which is what you want. You want to be able to put anything you can in the back of it and tow everything.
Yeah. So, I can imagine it's quite a stark contrast to the Mercedes.
Yeah, it's quite a different prospect. But, they're showing two different areas that pickups are moving in. You've either got the big utilitarian one now, or you're going off towards the luxury, more user-friendly side, which I think the X-Class probably represents.
Right, okay, so we've just jumped out of the Isuzu and we're into something that's completely different, yet very similar.
Yeah, so it's still a pickup, but it is a Mercedes X-Class pickup.
You can tell straight off that you're in a Mercedes.
It's a lot quieter.
Yeah.
A lot more refined. We've got a 3-litre diesel engine underneath the bonnet, and it's got a 7-speed automatic gearbox, which means that that's a Mercedes-sourced automatic gearbox as well, which means that it doesn't feel quite as strained as the Isuzu. I think that's fair to say.
Because essentially the X-Class is based on the Navara, isn't it?
It's based on the Navara, but Mercedes did do some little tweaks to it. They revised the suspension, which is why it rides, well, for me, a little bit better than the Navara. Yeah. And obviously the biggest change in this one is that engine, which is a Mercedes engine. You can't get the V6 on the Navara. And I think this car actually has extra ground clearance as an optional extra.
Okay.
But it's not too unapproachable to drive. I don't think someone coming out of an SUV would find this too tricky to drive around every day.
Yeah.
If you are looking for a pickup that feels relatively luxurious, then the X-Class is going to be the one to go for.
Pickups are 99% of the time workhorses. Mm-hmm. So why would you spend this amount of money on a car that is essentially going to be, worked hard and abused?
I think that's a fair point. And you could probably, this car does have quite a few optional extras on it to drive up the price, and you could probably go for a lower spec X-Class and still get the same sort of experience for a slightly cheaper price.
So we'll kick things off in the Isuzu, and it's not actually that bad in here.
No, it's not. I mean, there's not a lot to scream and shout about. Back here I've got 2 cup holders, and I do also have 1 USB power socket, but that's not too bad. And I've also got quite a lot of legroom, which is really nice.
Up front I've got 3 USBs and a couple of cup holders, but there seems to be loads of storage bins. You've got 1 under the arm here, you've got 2 in front of the driver, 1 in the middle, and then you've got some pretty decent sized door pockets as well.
Yeah.
The build quality isn't amazing.
It's a little questionable,
some of the plastics are a little cheap, but they seem durable, and
yeah,
that's kind of what you want in a car.
You want a utilitarian cabin to go with your utilitarian outside truck, really. But it doesn't feel cramped. It feels quite spacious. I think that's helped out by quite large windows. And certainly back here, I'm sat slightly higher up than you guys in the front, which means that I've got quite a nice view out. Yeah,
and you've also got quite a lot of speakers back there.
A lot of speakers, 2 speakers up top and 2 speakers in the doors as well. So a great sound for a pickup too. Well, we've had a look around here, so should we go and have a look at the Merc?
Yeah,
let's do it. So now we are in the inside of the X-Class, and immediately it feels like a far more premium affair compared to the Isuzu. Is that what you think, Nigel?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the quality of the materials is much more improved than the Isuzu. I think space is a little bit cramped in the back here. I'm not the tallest, and my knees are right up against the back of the seat.
Yeah.
And there aren't any USBs in the back. There's only 1 12-volt power socket, but I do feel like I'm sitting a lot taller in the back, so I do have this sort of theatre style viewing.
Yeah, that's quite nice to have back there to see over everyone, particularly for such a large vehicle.
Yeah,
I mean, up front I've got some USB sockets up here. I've got 2 there and a 12-volt socket as well. Obviously the main part of the cabin is dominated by the Mercedes infotainment system, and also these sort of bright chrome finishes, which I think help to lift the overall feel of the cabin. We do have some very small cup holders. That's quite an annoyance. Why not fit a bigger cup holder?
More than I've got.
Well, no cup holders back there. And you haven't got an armrest either, have you? No, so just a seat. Yeah, it's a lovely place to be, but then it is a very expensive truck.
Yeah.
So yes, we've driven them, we've sat inside them, and I think it's now time that we went and had a look at what the visuals are like on the outside.
Yeah, we did sit in them when we were driving them though, mate.
All right, clever clogs. Come on, let's go.
Now onto the business of design, and while both these cars cost over £45,000, it's safe to say that they both offer something very different in terms of looks.
They do. The Mercedes, for instance, plays on that premium edge, which is why you've got loads of chrome at the front. You've got nice LED daytime running lights, but you're not going to mistake who makes this truck. The badge is massive.
It is pretty understated though for a pickup truck.
Yeah, particularly in this colour, but I mean, you're not going to miss it in the rear view mirror, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, talk about rear view mirrors. This thing, if this is behind you, you are totally going to get out of the way.
Yeah, I think you're going to get away very quickly.
It's very big, it's very imposing. You've got these huge shoulders on the wheel arches. You've got those cool lights.
Yeah, I love the lights.
Literally blinding.
They are really bright.
It's essentially just the same as that, but on steroids. It really is beefed up.
Yeah, I think you've got the premium end, and you've got the just sheer imposing end of the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both pretty cool though, I'd say, in different ways.
But this one really does get people looking at it. If you drive it down the road, people will look at it, and you'll get a lot of reaction. Whereas that one, probably a little bit more understated.
It's a little more under the radar.
Yeah, totally. So it seems that both these cars do a very similar job, but in a totally different way.
Yeah. But what do we think of them overall?
So the X-Class is a well-built premium pickup truck. It looks great, it looks very smart and sophisticated, it drives extremely well, and the build quality on the interior is right up there with the best in class.
The Isuzu, meanwhile, is a little more rough around the edges. Some interior plastics are a little harsh, but then this is contrasted by amazing looks. You really can't miss it out on the road. It also edges the X-Class in the terms of efficiency somewhat.
Full solo reviews of both these trucks are available on Motors.co.uk.
And remember to like this video and subscribe to the Motors.co.uk YouTube channel. And while you're there, why not let us know which truck you prefer?